thought I would do a traditional sketchbook tour instead of the iPad one, because there's not enough stuff in the iPad for me to show you that's new, other than stuff I'm about to upload, and I want that to be a surprise. So stay tuned, and I'm going to get my stuff. I'm gonna cut this video more than the other one, though the other one was just like all the way through, even all the stuff I didn't want y'all to see. But this one, I will have to do the editing a little bit more so that you can enjoy all the stuff in the sketchbooks that I have. So traditional sketchbook and travel journal stuff. So all right, so we're gonna start out with travel journal, and then we'll do the sketchbook in a second. So let's see. I got this from, this is just one of those like half-price bookstores kind of sketchbooks, but I really do like it. It's more so for journaling and note-taking and stuff like that. I haven't deep dived into bullet journaling, only because I'm messy, and there's some people, they enjoy the minutia of, you know, I'm gonna put the thing and then we're gonna make the schedule and we're gonna be productive. I'm not that person, so we'll see if I'll get into it and if it's something enjoyable I like to do. But if it's more of a chore to bullet journal than to complete the actual tasks, then why am I doing this? So we'll see if it's fun. We'll see. I would like to give it a try. So this is I started adding little tabs to categorize what the content of the page is, just so I can like find it easily, because like sometimes you don't have time for that. But yeah, so this is Nino stuff. I did the story of the girl and the ghost, and so this is me attempting to write a story with the three event act. So it's a lot. I'm considering that maybe I'd like to keep the pages of the graphic novel at least 200 pages, because that's what makes a graphic novel. But here I'm just like, just make 10 pages, just try to do the thing, oh god. But some preliminary character designs, spoilers. This is more like journaling stuff. This was my KonMari adventures and setting my intentions for before I KonMari. I think I'm done with KonMariing. I think after that, KonMari is mostly like once you get rid of all the garbage with your stuff, it's mostly just you maintaining it day to day and not trying to accumulate more things. And if you do accumulate more things, well, you gotta do a mini KonMari like every once in a while. So my intention was to have a clean, cozy place for myself and have clarity for ambition and stuff. Yeah, but if you guys want to pause the video to just read this, like, I'm letting y'all read it, because I think like I do find it worth it to journal my thoughts and stuff without like entering it in a blog. I already have a messy personal blog that I use just for me and like a couple other friends, but there's something very tactile about writing it down and then reading it again later. So yeah, there's more stuff about the gym and whatever. Now this is interesting. This was my journaling, my experience with going to my friend's house in Atlanta or Georgia. She lives in Georgia, but I was also trying to navigate the emotions I had while I stayed with her. So I'm not going to go in depth into that, but I cut out a couple of the menus that in the restaurants we went to. We went to the mall a lot because she really liked going to the mall and looking at things, and like we mostly touched and experienced. Like I said before, my video started to die because software update. I was recording my phone. These pages were mostly my experiences that I had with her, and you know, we went to the botanical garden. Oh my god, download information. And it was like, outside of that, it was like, you know how when you meet someone in real life, it's going to be different than how you feel about them when you're friends with them online. And I think we all kind of go through that as fandom children who, make our friends online because we're nerds. It was sort of like that. And that's why I said, I've been saying that I don't want to be the type of artist figure, even if I am a figure to like a small amount of people. I don't want to be like people looking up to me like I'm gonna be perfect or whatever, but I'm not. So if you guys ever meet me in real life, I'm not like that at all. So just don't be disappointed when you find out who I really am, like, because I'm just me. And there's a lot of things I decided to insert into, like, I try to glue things together and like use washi tape. I love washi tape now. I'm becoming that person, but I'm not full on like super into like stationery, but I might become that person. So, but yeah, I would write things. And did you know that I kind of discovered that my mom, when I was a baby, from the time I was born up until I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old, she kept a little journal about how she raised me from my early years. And it really, like, I'll probably show a little bit of that here too, but we'll see. But yeah, let's turn the page. That's not that. No. So, a little bit earlier this year, I tried to just get her done with in regards to the Anino graphic novel I'm planning, and these are the requirements for any pitch. If you guys ever want to pitch like a graphic novel, if you have an agent who wants to. So comic pages, detailed storyline, 5 to 7 completed art pieces. So that's something I'd like to do. I do the who and where, when, what. It's I just, confused about writing, so I want to make sure I do that. Oh, secret information. These are I tutor art for people, and I sort of figure out who's the person's what are their goals, what are they like, what do they do, and things like that, and I help them in their art journey basically. And so I would like to kind of do that and offer that for my last final tier, which is the gosh, I can't remember my own tiers, but like according to anyone who tutors, it's $35 an hour. So I would like to offer those kind of services for Patreon as well, if like you live in the area or if you'd like to do it over Skype. That's something I'd like to do. But you should see Andrea and Lindsay's art now. Like these are people that don't have time for art, or they feel like, oh, I'm not an artist, like my stuff has stagnated since then. But it's like, I feel like they always have had the skill to do all these things. It's just sort of finding a method that works for them and working with them to find that method. So, but anyway, this is also like, planned adventures, things like that. These are dead, and I hate that. I'm so upset. I love this washi tape. It's so cool. But like, baboos are alive. Phoenix died. Flapjack is still alive. The mother of thousands, aka the mother of millions, are alive. I planted this one. One of them died. Serenus is alive, I think. Me and Rob's is still alive. If you guys want to see, I have the plants over there. I'll take a picture. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to figure out the system, the world Bible system for that world, and yeah. Oh, there's some content. There's some NDA stuff here that maybe we shouldn't like show, but yeah. Well, that's funny. Oh, okay. So, like I keep on saying over and over, like, I went on a trip with Bay to Europe, lol, and that's where I got proposed to. But while I was there, I did a little bit of journaling, so yeah. Oh, schedule, personal regulation. The trip was great because even though we've been together for like 3 years, we still, when you travel with somebody, you get to figure out what they're like and their personal habits, and you have to figure out like you have to like sync in your how you communicate it. Like, oh God, the emotions. I want kiss. Like, okay, and then this is a fairly small book. It's like maybe, I'm looking at it inside. It's maybe 6 by 8. And so I have to find a way to fold things. Like when we went to Poland, there was a map of Wrocław, Wrocław. That's the name of the city in Poland that we visited. We get to ride the tram. I have to find a way to like fold things over so that they fit. This is me being upset and sulking like a baby child during our trip, and the beautiful restaurants we went to. It was a really not only life-changing trip, but I don't think it's not the type of thing that happens very often, and I'm really grateful I went. And so, oh, this is funny. This is getting personal on Maine, but yeah. When you're in a heterosexual relationship. And then I pressed some flowers. Funny story about these pressed flowers. So me and Robert we were in the market, and we were looking at all of the stalls and the tourist areas to buy like little souvenirs and knickknacks and stuff. And they have a group of people there that like they beg for money, things like that. And of course I'm naive, and there are people passing around these roses, and here they're like, oh, here's a rose for you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, it's a free thing, nice. But it turns out it wasn't free. They wanted payment for this one fake sort of charity thing, and of course I gave them money, and then I got scammed. So I did want to use the flower though for something, so I pressed it. You have to put the flowers in a heavy book so that it doesn't turn brown like these little sections, and then I use not just glue but Mod Podge so that it doesn't get torn up these other flowers are different though. I just picked them. They're the flowers that exist outside of the hotel where we stayed. Sorry for the cussing. I apologize. My drawing, angsty, deviant art shit about getting dumped in 2008. Yeah, that's me. That's me. It's personal stuff, but I don't think there's anything in there. Okay, there's a little envelope thing, which I could put stuff in here, but I haven't put anything in there yet. So let's get to the good stuff. This is the sketchbook. And as y'all know, let's make sure that to clear. Okay, my hand's starting to hurt. I need to really figure out to find a way to hold this so it gets steady. I'm sure some of y'all are getting like a little bit of motion sickness, but we're working on it. We'll figure it out. Any tips and tricks? But this is comics. Inconceivable. That would never happen. End of the world nightmares. I have very vivid dreams. I tend to remember them almost as soon as I wake up, and if I'm on the verge of forgetting them, I record a voice using my phone that's still loading, by the way. Like I record voice files for myself. So even if I listen to the voice file later, I can still remember how I felt about the dream. The sun disappeared. You have 6 hours until all life on Earth freezes to death. Which I think, ideally, if the sun were to disappear, the Earth would just get out of its gravitational pull in the solar system and just go, just like that. So we would not have even time to freeze to, I don't know. Yeah, this is the worst one. This is the worst one. The violence. Anyway, yeah. A lot of personal things. if you guys get kind of sick of me talking about being engaged and stuff, I get it and I understand, but please understand that I feel things really differently. And when you live through life in your early, like, live your life kind of existing in like this place of no one is ever going to love me, blah, 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 you have to really work on getting out of that place, even when you're in a relationship with somebody. And so it's why it's super personal to me that this sort of thing has, like, I draw about it whenever I get into stuff like that. Okay, body image issues. If no one wants to read this, like, skip over. But yeah, it's a comic about how I feel. If I'm exercising, am I doing it for me or for them? There are things I can do. But yeah, I'm going to be strong. I want to fit into my wedding dress potentially. I have no idea if that's going to be my, yeah, but if it's for other people, then we're not going to do that. So, yeah. Oh, a lot of other fun things. I tried to put the date of, well, obviously, duh, but like, I try to remember, like, when did this happen again? I'll keep little knickknacks and things in, like, an envelope in my purse for when I go out so that I will have things to remember that day by, and then I'll glue it in or sticker it in the journal. My friend Sandra got married to Elias, and I actually worked with them before, but here's me and my fiance being gross in the corner. But like, can deal. It's a can deal. And I, obviously when you're drawing on the fly, people don't look on model, or like they should look like in real life, but the point is, when I'm journaling here, I'm not trying to do dry journaling. I'm not trying to do studies. The goal is not that I'm trying to improve myself or anything. This is me talking about my feelings visually. Okay, so it's not something I want to process too much brain power into, but like, every day you have to do something visually that's for fun, and then, note taking and stuff like that. And then the third thing is, academic studies for when you're drawing, right? This is the thing that I used to not just warm up, but just to kind of open myself so that I'm not just drawing to study and to be productive. I'm drawing because I will never be the same person again, right? And so I want to be able to remember who I am at this moment, because all these feelings change. And so I want to, like, keep that sort of, like, my emotional history. That's what I want to do. And so it's different from, like, when you're just blogging on Tumblr or whatever. And then, yeah, but this is me for myself, but, I get to share it with everybody. And I think that's too unsafe, I think, but other than cussing. But yeah, you guys have probably seen this on Instagram if you visit my Instagram. This is when fiance got me to watch Evangelion. That sure was a show. That sure was a show. That was, a lot of people say it's iconic. It has influenced so many other animes, but that doesn't mean it's good. It's iconic, but it doesn't mean it's good. So yeah, and yeah, there's some things in Evangelion. This is the thing. Sometimes, and this is a confession, my favorite things is, like, people, like, I never know what to ask for when people ask me, like, what kind of things do you want for Christmas or for your birthday? And so, like, write that down. None of the washi tapes match whatever the object it is I actually want. This one's a little hard to see. I should have used pen, but it's nice to do pencil. The problem is, though, it starts rubbing on the other side, and so, yeah, that's not ideal, but I get to erase whatever it is. I barely erase this pencil, though, so it's just, when you're using pen, it's not only more permanent, but you get to practice your draftsmanship. Even though I just said this is for not exercising your brain power, this is for just making fun doodles and things with structure. You practice structure without having to practice too hard. Well, this is where my plans for the Draw With Me date. But I want to thank you guys again for coming in, all three of y'all, for coming into the the live drawing date, it was, I think it was a big success because I had fun and I was super delighted to have y'all in here. So this sketchbook is, she's still in her baby stage. We haven't drawn in a lot of her, but the paper is also toned here. I might use my white pencils and stuff and my charcoal pencils to do that. If I use charcoal or pencil though, I'm gonna have to put tracing paper in between to protect the drawings so that it doesn't get smeared all over the place. But yeah, aside from the stuff in the iPad, which I'm holding in my hand, but I can't wait for you guys to enjoy and see this month's sketchbook tour. I'm gonna try to make this a more regular thing. I'll update you with the world building stuff that I'm doing. I have a bigger sketchbook, which is for life drawing exercises and world building, and I think it should be bigger because the format is bigger, and I like to keep things long when I like to do world building drawings. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. I love you. Please take care. Thank you. Bye.